thanks for staying with us. So we have a few topics we would like to talk about, but because I have BC and Veronica in the building, I thought, it was important to bring back the Davido story, because I would like to hear your views on it, because yesterday we touched on it a bit, because the news is out there. We know that there was an introduction between Davido and Chioma. We know that many people thought since 2017 this was the woman, so we all kind of accepted that that is Davido's woman. So recently, all these pictures of him kissing and hugging and with all sorts of people got some of us, people like me, a bit bothered and disturbed.
Chioma's aunties.
Some of Chioma's aunties, disturbed. And yesterday, so we expressed our views, and especially myself, Nima, and others. But since you're not around, I'd like to even hear your thoughts on it, because the end conversation is, where does a woman draw the line? As a young person, do you think that it's okay for you to stay with a man even though you have a child with him, regardless of all the issues, or do you say no, this is not for me? Because that's what the Western world is teaching our young girls. So which is it? Which one do we go by? Do we go by the traditional way of saying, okay, I'll stay with him regardless, or say, you know what, it's my life, I'm out of here? Let me come to you, BC.
There's a prayer I always make, and I say, may God give us children that have sense. It's very important. So because see, you can only train to the best of your ability as a parent.
Yeah.
But you will not follow that child outside.
Of course.
You can influence a bit depending on the type of child, but you cannot insist on this is right for you.
It's her decision.
Yes, it's her decision. As she becomes an adult, every decision she decides to take, there's a consequence for it. So, and we should be prepared to live with the consequences of our actions. Now, where I come from, if introduction is not marriage, you are on the same level with a girlfriend. The difference now is that they just came to say, okay, now here they stay. That's the difference. You are still on the same level. Where I come from, if your father does not collect, even if it's 15 naira, in my place it's 15 naira, they don't collect that 15 naira. There's no covering to protect you. Marriage is sort of a covenant and a covering that protects you if anything goes wrong. And we know that even in marriage, things go wrong. And the women are left like that. Now, with marriage, you now have like a legal backing to fight for your rights. But when there is no exchange of 15 naira, you are on the same level as side chick, baby mama, whatever it is. Now, I heard just before this one happened that this particular person abandoned school to follow man. The day I heard it, I felt, that was when I started praying that prayer, God, please do not give me children that don't have sense. You can still have it and finish have your own life.
I mean, it's meant to be a platform.
Yes. Use the platform you have with the relationship and the fact that he's a celebrity and all of that, but still have your own thing. Anything can happen. You should be left with something. Be your own woman. Be your own. I heard she was supposed to do one cooking something. Till today I've not seen no. And I'm wondering, so how does she think? Does she think a child can keep a man like that? Mbano. It can't. These people are flukes. Right. They see you, they go to different countries, they see this one, they like you, and they follow you.
Okay, I hear you, but I'll come to you, Veronica. I hear what you're saying, that once you get married. But from my own place too, once you have, and they've introduced you, the family, you carry your grandpapa left house to come and say, this is the person, this is the apple I have seen. There is some kind of commitment, some level. Yes, it's not yet legal, but there's some level of commitment. Like, this is the person. So we have identified with you. So it's stronger than just, you're not on the same level with the girlfriend.
May I yab you a bit before you come in? I want to yab your from your own place. That's why they don't value your own people. Check the way they treat them. They get them cheaply, and so they treat them cheaply. If you work hard to get your woman, you will value.
Because I will fight you. But how, Veronica, do we hold our men responsible for their actions? Also, yes, the girl, according to you, maybe she shouldn't have, but the man too goofed, don't you think?
He's a man in Nigeria.
Veronica, let me go ahead.
You mentioned something earlier that I would like to begin from. Where do you draw the line? You draw the line from the beginning. You set your standards clear. And that stems from a point of knowing who you are.
Okay.
If you don't know who you are, you will take anything. You are just like a trash can. Anything is thrown at you, thrown into you, and that's it. What was the standard she laid for herself? Did you tell this person that this is the line? If you are not going to marry me, this is it. This is how far we can go. You draw the line from the beginning. Make your standpoints clear, such that if he's not comfortable, he goes. Who is bearing the brunt now?
But there's a child involved.
Hang on. We have seen from people's experiences that children do not hold a lot of men.
Thank you.
It's just a connection.
Are you the first one
She's not the first. It's just a connection. You draw the line first. What foundation are you even laying for that child? If she had drawn the line from the beginning, that okay, if you don't do this for me, then she begins to take certain steps. And if the guy truly wants to stay committed, then he would have gone ahead.
Let me tell you something.
Right? So ensuring he is held accountable right now. You can't hold him to account for anything.
Because Veronica, men should start being responsible for their actions.
Yes, be responsible for your action, just as the lady is supposed to be responsible for her actions as well. They are both adults. She chose this path, so she's bearing the brunt. If there is a brunt for her,
anyway, she can be okay. So let me even give you this thing. So there was something I learned growing up. I don't even know how I learned it, but I just realized that the best time to sustain the interest of a man to be able to take you to the altar is when he's so in love with you. When he's, and the way they showed us this love was like, I can't breathe without this woman. That was the time to have said,
altar,
marry me. That was the time. Because the way that love was, you don't let the love cool down. And then you are not coming back to.
In fact, know what his plans are
exactly at that time. That all he wanted was you. Everywhere on stage, he will present you. He did a song for you. You don't marry me, finish now. We will just enter one court and go and do it first. Then we can now start sorting our parents and all of that. So see, for me, I don't know how to tell young women to be smart. The world does not really favor women, especially in a patriarchal society. So women need to be twice as smart as their male counterpart. He can do. Who wants to arrest him now for breaking your heart or carrying somebody else? Nobody. Even if he had married you and decides to bring another person, nobody. It's okay. Traditionally, it's okay. Culturally, it's okay. He can have as many. Even Solomon in the Bible, how many he married? He can have as many as possible. Are we not trying
to see? That's my worry. I'm just telling you. That's my worry. Let me make a point. 1 second, we want to be Western, emancipate the woman, don't take this nonsense. The next second, we want to be African man, allow them. I said Solomon. Which one do you want? Are we building a new narrative where men are equally responsible for their actions?
Okay, so men are responsible, but who will hold them responsible? Till we get to that point where society holds them responsible, wouldn't you advise the young girls to be smart?
That's it. A woman has to create her standards. You know that if you are coming into my space, this is it. And if you cannot stand it, get out. That is what it is. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. So if you want to be with
don't be afraid to let go.
So when women begin to set their standards, the men will be responsible.
But that standard you are setting, do not say you are very foreign. That is how all these whites very soon the Peter Duchess.
So should you be trampled on being a white man because you want to accept everything?
So what I'm asking, lady, is that this young lady was in love, the man was in love.
Right.
And he told the world, this is my woman. Now, shouldn't us, society, hold him accountable that, listen, this is the woman you told us. And we have accepted her wholeheartedly.
But you know he has a right.
He has changed his mind.
He has a right. But you see, for the sake of this little boy, that this girl has birthed.
Is this the first child he has? Now, thank you.
This is not the first child he has.
Those little girls, what happened to those ones?
But we've seen the precedents now. There was another guy that has like maybe 3 or 4 baby mamas. Did you not bring all of them back into this? That we finally married one. And then created a family structure.
This one will mature into it. He hasn't matured into it. Let's not rush this man. He's a young man.
He's not yet ready to
He's a young man, yeah.
That is what it is. It's not
So
yet ready to
while
take
she's not ready, what should our sister? So I'm advising our dear sister. What should she do at this point?
Focus on herself.
Huh?
Build
Focus on
herself.
Yeah.
Build her capacity.
Yeah.
Build her career. Build something out of the experience. Such that you can transfer it to the next generation, whatever it is. That's how you impact people, such that they don't take the steps or make the mistake you made.
I think you should focus on going back to school, have a certificate or whatever, then build value.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know her up close, but seeing her, I think she has so much to give to the world. She needs to work on that. She needs to build value. See, there's a way she will build value. That guy will come back and say, you see that marriage structure, I want to build it with you. Forget about all those other people. I want to settle with you. She should focus on herself.
Me, I feel that every other woman should just reject him. Say, you know what, go back
for
to
waiting.
Yes, now if he comes to you, say, honey,
Mariah,
go back to him. I will wait him. Because he has publicly told us that this is his woman.
How many you do we have in the
That's all we can take on this. I wanted to hear your views on this. Thank you, ladies, for helping us thrash this. Let's go. When we come back, we move on to other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Now, moving on to the other topic. Now, we saw a story online that caught our attention, and was a single young lady that was saying that she wants to wait until she has a decent job, a well-paying job, before she makes that decision into marriage. And the reason is because she doesn't want to go in there without having something handy with her. And it now reminds me the fact that many of our ministers or preachers or even counselors advise that women don't enter marriage without a job. Well, get something of your own. A woman must have something of her own. Now, with this preaching and admonition, young girls are saying, even though there's a man coming to me to say he wants to marry, I would rather say no at this time because I don't have a job yet. My question, therefore, is that the right advice at this time? Should young ladies back in the day be willing to go into relationships without anything, or should they build their career first? Which is it? Because this young lady is now saying that they've come to me, but I have refused to accept because I don't have a job yet. Is that the right thing?
Personally, I do not think anybody is empty. We all have something. You may not have found what you have, but you have it. So you just need to look deeply. You may not have a physical job, but you have ideas. You want to probably run a business. You have ideas to probably grow something. You may not have started, you may not have the funds to start, but there's something brewing in you that you know you can give. So looking at the value that you have, some values are intrinsic and it's going to take a while to be able to come out. But do you now wait till you have actualized, you have brought about your value, everybody now sees it before you marry? The point is, some women have said, I want to have something before getting into marriage. And they focused on just the career and the business. And when they were ready, they felt, okay, I have enough now. I have my own house, I have my own car, I have this. I can now go into marriage. They didn't see husband. And they are heading away from their 40s into their 50s right now. I have two friends like that. So I wouldn't personally advise you to wait till you have a certain amount of money in your account or you are doing a very fantastic job before you get married. You can do both. You know who you are. You know the potentials you have. What I would advise against is anybody marrying somebody who is lazy, who does not make any effort, who just wants to wake up, eat, and sleep. But if you have somebody who maybe she has not started showing signs of what she has, but you see she's making effort, she's going for the job interview, she's writing this, she's doing this exam, she's doing that, you know that value is going to come out of this. You can marry.
But these same men will say you're a liability. If you haven't found yourself, if you haven't decided, you've not found your purpose, you've not found that business idea, you're still in that, you're still thinking about what you want to do, they'll call you that girl is a liability. And you want to get, so that the point therefore is that how do you know when to take that decision? What should you go ahead or just restrain yourself from getting married?
The marriage is relative when it comes to what you want to achieve with it at the end of the day. For some person, the Bible, sorry, I have to bring the Bible.
It's okay.
It says, he that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from God. Means that it is not just any woman, but a wife. And when she comes into your life, certain things begin to happen. Things change and all of that. Now, perhaps the person in question, being the lady, has not found herself. She feels she doesn't have that capacity, the wife capacity, and she feels, I need to develop that capacity before I get into marriage, before I get committed.
So I can be of favor, so he can find favor.
So I can be of favor to the man that I am getting married to, and my children on the long run. Now, the men, on the other hand, some say, oh, I can, carry on with this, I can take up this responsibility. Our mothers of old, what did they have before they even got married?
But we need them to have the energy to go to the farm.
They had the energy to farm and all of that. Some men at the time did not even want the women to do anything but to raise kids, their children. And that's what it is. Yes, the economy is changing.
Yes.
Things are changing. The environment is changing. But what do you want to achieve with your marriage? That is very...
Let me pause you, Veronica, because I want to take Auntie on. All the marriage counselors we have. You see, I go back to these contradictory messages and admonitions we hear from either coaches, marriage counselors,
you don't understand what you're hearing.
Let me be sure.
Because they will tell you it's down to you.
Yes. I'm telling you what they've told many young ladies.
Okay.
Listen, you are a young person. Have your own thing. Have your own car. Be an independent woman. And so when you be busy doing your thing, so he will find you
in the
doing that thing.
The question is, why do you even want to get married?
Exactly.
Sorry? Why do you want to get married?
Because I guess it's the next phase of your life. But the point is,
okay,
I feel we get mixed messages from people. A young girl is saying that because I don't have it all yet, I'm not going to go get into marriage. She has suitors, but she has refused to accept because because counselors and coaches
and pastors add them. You must add them to this.
Said that you must have something. So our question is, my comment now is to you. What do you tell her at this time?
Okay, so I already explained having something. It doesn't have to be physically ready for you to have something, but anybody who is looking to marry you should see potential, should see that this person is hardworking. I want to give myself as an example. When I finished school and I got a job, I was just I think 2-3 months into the job when I got married. I didn't have anything. The only thing I carried to my husband's house was the car I won as a beauty queen in 2006. That was the only thing I carried to husband's car.
Something.
But I didn't have any money in my account, there was nothing. But he looked at me and knew that I could build something. He had tried me to see that this person can nurture something. She's intelligent, she's constantly reading, she's constantly working, she's not lazy. She will grow something. A man that loves you, that identifies potential, will help you grow your potential. Everything I am today, my husband helped me grow it. Would he have said I won't marry her because she doesn't have 1 million in her account? He would have lost out a wonderful wife like me today.
So would you say it's a lazy man that would say that a woman doesn't have any is a liability? Because
but there are women that are liabilities.
They have women.
So how we wish that
there are women who are liabilities, but a woman like that, she didn't want to enter the marriage as a liability. She wanted to have something, but she tried and nothing came. So should she have waited till she achieved before getting
married?
Now
my issue is, what was the conversation she had with the man? Marriage is communication, as it is often said. What was the conversation you are having with the man? Did she trust where she is even supposed to? Okay, maybe she has seen that if I enter, I go so foul. I need to gather something before I go in. Now we do not have full details of all of that. Perhaps that was why she withdrew. The man was saying, okay, come, we'll work things out. But she has seen, I'm not sure. The way you're still
I just remember right now, there's a guy, I'm going to mention his name. His name is Luke.
Hey,
he wanted my hand in marriage. I remember, I will never forget Mr. Luke. When he said I got married in that conversation, he came to my mother's house. He came and he got a black jacket. I remember him very clearly. His face is very oblong face like this.
Hey,
look, see me. Look, he said that he wants to marry Murayo. My mother said, really? So do you have a job? He said, no. Is there something you're working on? No. Okay. My mother said, how do you plan to take care? No, we'll pray and fast together.
Jesus!
And then I was jobless. Me, I didn't have anything. I was no work. My mother looked at me, looked at the guy. So we both of you pray and fast. He said, yes, ma'am, we'll pray and fast and God will provide. I said, okay.
That's a lazy man.
She stood up. She just went upstairs.
And
left me and her, me and the guy in the living room, just out of respect. She don't want to say anything. Then the guy now left, said, Auntie, I hope you're not thinking, of course not, now this one. Because in his own mission, that I will marry you, even though you are jobless,
so 12 us to sit home and be kabashing.
I will kabash and God will just bless us. So in that kind of situation, if I were in that, no, but that's a lazy man, but if I was a woman, maybe at that moment I said, okay, I might like you, but I want to go and have a job
because
first.
What I am seeing, you need to get something.
Yeah, so I need to go and get a job first before I can get it. So maybe that's the situation here. She likes the guy, but she feels like he will go suffer.
Because she still said she would love to attend his wedding.
That's true.
That's if he finds a wife.
That's if he finds a wife. Well, that is the man will always find a wife.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Yeah.
There are those who will
say that
gladly
I know some
walking.
single men that are still working in the street of Lagos.
It's because they are not ready to find one.
But they don't have the capacity. Women these days are becoming smart. You don't want to get into a house that you will suffer. You don't want to get into a house that you will be disrespected.
Right.
See, even if you are still sorting yourself out, two of you cannot be sorting yourself out at the same time. That's hunger. And that kind of marriage, Maria, if I don't buy like 16 children, there won't be any job. She will just be from bedroom to bedroom to bedroom.
So for me, bottom line
so you
is,
take Twitter, BC.
Okay, let me look for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
for me, bottom line is, what do you want to achieve with your marriage?
Yeah.
Some persons will see, okay, we can work things out. We can build ourselves. We can. Everybody started from somewhere. All of us did not have everything at the beginning.
Yeah.
So, but where we are now, we are not where we used to be. It's growth. So you can decide to work with the man. Both of you build yourselves, and then if you see that it don't go pay you, you go suffer, you go hungry.
Just walk
You
out.
take off.
It's okay to work out.
All right, we have to take I don't know why our phone lines have not come through yet, but let us take a few tweets for we wrap
Okay,
up on this.
Omoyoma Emmanuel says, Davido and Chioma didn't define their relationship, did they? Besides, they are just boyfriend and girlfriend. They both owe each other nothing. Chioma's father can't sue Davido because he didn't promise her marriage, did he? The child they have belongs to Chioma's father by tradition.
Right.
He also says, Davido and Chioma are no kids. They went into a relationship as partners. Davido marketed Chioma as a good chef. Chioma added to Davido's music as a perfect lover. Every stage he mounted, people wanted to see Chioma, and he gave them that for rating. Flo Show says, I wish all young women can listen to Obiajuli's advice on marriage. Arrest him to marry when he's drunk in love with you. After that, the love reduces. Men are naturally polygamous. Women prefer monogamy. Know that and know peace.
I wish we had a lawyer here. You know, Chioma should have a stake in that assurance song.
Did they sign any?
Did they sign any agreement?
No. Did they call her name?
Chioma.
Yeah.
I need a Chioma.
Okay.
She should be able to sue him.
That's her name. But can she prove that she's a Chioma?
She's the only
Did you not see her face in the video?
No,
it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean.
You need evidence.
No. I need to get a lawyer on this matter, please. Chioma, we are collecting our money.
Chioma's auntie.
What nonsense. Yeah, so we are collecting our money because we are our wife. We are, in fact, we don't know another She's an Iyawo already, forget it.
It's okay.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll bring in our celebrity guest. Stay with us. We'll be right back.